Have you ever witnessed a moment when a single word, just one call sign, changes the entire atmosphere of a room? When laughter dies, heads turn, and silence falls, not out of fear but respect. This is that story. The story of the woman the Navy once called Night Fox. So, stay till the end, because when the SEAL Admiral asked her call sign as a joke, nobody expected the storm that name would bring. And before we begin, make sure you subscribe to Grow for Justice and tell me in the comments below, from where in the world are you watching this story right now? The Pentagon's main briefing hall was unusually crowded that afternoon. Rows of officers, Marines, and new recruits filled the seats, whispering, fidgeting, laughing quietly before the session began. It wasn't every day they got to attend a live Q&A with Admiral Jason Harlan, the most decorated SEAL commander in active service. Harlan had seen everything, from covert missions in frozen seas to classified operations that never made the news. His presence alone commanded respect. But today wasn't about him. It was about a small, quiet woman sitting near the back of the hall. Dressed in civilian clothes, posture relaxed, expression unreadable. Few noticed her. Few knew her name. But the Admiral did. As the session began, Harlan walked to the podium, cracking jokes and easing the room. "All right, everyone," he said. "Today's about leadership, courage, and learning what it means to stand tall under pressure." He scanned the room. "We've got guests from different branches here. I even hear we have a few civilians among us, brave enough to sit with the wolves." Laughter echoed. Then his eyes landed on her. "Miss," he said, pointing with a teasing smile, "you look far too calm for a room full of SEALs. What's your story?" She raised her gaze, met his eyes without blinking. "Just observing, Admiral." Harlan chuckled. "Observing, huh? You military?" "Used to be," she replied softly. "Oh, really?" He grinned. "What branch?" "Joint Operations Command." The Admiral nodded slowly, intrigued. "Impressive. Mind if I ask your call sign?" He said it as a joke, expecting some made-up answer. The room chuckled with him, but then she said it, "Night Fox." And the entire hall went silent. It was like someone had cut the sound from the air. The Admiral froze, the laughter evaporated, and for the first time in years, Harlan's confident expression faltered. The name Night Fox wasn't just a call sign. It was a ghost, a legend whispered in special operations circles, classified even to those who thought they'd seen everything. Rumor said Night Fox had led missions that officially never happened. That she'd saved an entire SEAL team during an ambush in Kunar Province, Afghanistan, by guiding them out under drone blackout, without losing a single man. But nobody had ever seen her face. Until now. The Admiral cleared his throat. "Ma'am," he said quietly, "did you just say Night Fox?" "Yes, sir," she said calmly. The younger recruits looked around, confused. "Who's Night Fox?" one whispered. The Admiral didn't answer. Instead, he stepped away from the podium and approached her slowly. "You're telling me the operation at Black Ridge, that was you?" She nodded once. "It was a team effort, sir." The room stayed silent, the weight of her words settling like dust. Harlan's voice softened. "They said you were Kia. We were told you never made it out." Her lips curved faintly. "That was the point." A nervous laugh rippled through the crowd, but Harlan didn't join it. He simply stared, realization dawning. The woman in front of him wasn't a myth. She was real, and she had walked straight into his hall unnoticed. "Permission to speak freely, Admiral?" she asked. "Granted," he said quietly. She stood. Her voice was calm, steady, the kind that didn't need to shout to command attention. "You teach these men about courage and discipline. But courage isn't about barking orders or showing medals. It's about what you do when no one's watching, when no one will ever know your name. The field doesn't care about ranks. It cares about instincts, unity, and heart." Every word struck like a bullet of truth. The recruits who had been laughing minutes ago now sat frozen, hanging on her every syllable. She continued, "You want to lead? Then learn to listen. The bravest SEAL I ever met once told me, heroes don't seek the spotlight. They survive the darkness. Remember that, and maybe one day you'll understand what the call sign Night Fox truly means." The Admiral exhaled slowly, almost reverently. "Ma'am," he said, "it's an honor." After the session ended, word spread like wildfire. Within hours, whispers ran through every hallway. Night Fox is alive. Senior officers came to confirm. Records were reopened. Her service file, classified for over a decade, resurfaced under special access clearance. The file was short but staggering. Night Fox, Tactical Intelligence Operative, Joint Task Command, Black Ridge Operations Division status. Retired, presumed deceased, mission classified. The document listed one operation that had never been declassified. Operation Eclipse. According to what little was readable, her mission had been to extract 3 wounded SEALs trapped behind enemy lines during a blackout under zero support conditions. She succeeded. Alone. But the report ended abruptly. No aftermath, no recognition, no medals. Now, the myth stood in the flesh, speaking calmly in a hall full of men who had built their careers on stories of courage. That evening, Admiral Harlan found her sitting by the memorial wall in the courtyard, her eyes tracing the engraved names of fallen soldiers. He approached quietly. "You disappeared for a long time," he said. "I had to," she replied. "The mission required it." Harlan nodded. "You could have come back. You earned your place." She smiled faintly. "Some battles don't end when the war does, Admiral. Some of us keep fighting just differently." He studied her in silence, then said softly, "They still talk about you, you know. The woman who vanished into the mountains and came back with her team alive. They say you're a ghost. Maybe ghosts are just soldiers who refuse to stop watching over their own," she replied. The Admiral's voice lowered. "If the Corps ever needed you again, I'd answer," she said before he could finish. "Always." Months later, a video from that day leaked online. Someone had recorded the exact moment she revealed her call sign. It spread like wildfire. Millions watched as laughter turned to awe, as the legend of Night Fox came back to life. The comments poured in. She didn't raise her voice once, but everyone listened. "Respect to the real warriors who walk among us unseen." That's not fear, that's honor. Night Fox became a symbol again, not of mystery, but of humility, resilience, and strength. She never sought interviews or fame. She returned quietly to volunteer work, training veterans in recovery programs and teaching self-discipline to youth. When asked why she did it, she said, "Because justice doesn't start in the courtroom or the battlefield. It starts in the heart." And that's what Grow for Justice stands for. Stories that remind us what integrity looks like when no one's watching the next time someone underestimates you. Remember Night Fox. Remember that real power doesn't come from rank or medals or applause. It comes from silence that commands respect. And if this story inspired you, if it gave you chills, then don't forget to subscribe to Grow for Justice and tell me in the comments where in the world you're watching from. Because heroes like Night Fox prove one truth that never fades. Justice may sleep, but courage never does.